Hey y'all, it's me Bree. I'm back with another freestyle. But before we get into this freestyle, I just want to say, oh my goodness. I went to bed with 9,000 followers and I woke up to 12K. Okay? Like, what? I can't believe it. It really makes me feel good that y'all love my work. It definitely motivates me to keep going and keep making these videos because I was not a vlogger at first and I'm still trying to get better. So the fact that y'all like these videos, I love it. But yeah, this set is going to put a lot of y'all in a frenzy. Y'all already know. This is a kawaii charm freestyle, which if you don't know what that is, those are those big charms. They're different shapes, sizes, colors. They come in all different. You're going to see at the end when I pull out my charm bag. But I already know what people are going to say. How can she do anything with them nails? Why she got to get the charm so big? But this lifestyle ain't for everybody. So if you don't like kawaii charms, don't put kawaii charms. But my client knew that she could handle these nails, and I also had faith in her not to lose no charms. And my clients are fully aware these nails can be bulky and heavy and can get in the way, but like I said, this lifestyle ain't for everybody. She know how to work them, and that's all that matters. But let me know how y'all like them. Y'all can see the ending result at the end. I started doing longer videos for y'all so y'all can see the ending result, but they turned out so cute. And of course, to see more, follow my Instagram. Bye.
This is one of the biggest lies I ever told to get myself out of trouble. So back in high school, I used to run on the cross country team, but by no means was I competitive or athletic at all. I was honestly just there for the social aspect of it. All throughout my freshman year of high school, I would literally run to Cold Stone Creamery to get ice cream and bring it back to everyone on my bus. I don't know if that tells you what kind of athlete I was, but yeah. Somehow I still didn't get caught for doing this stuff, and by later in high school, my friends and I decided to pretty much never go. I mean, we would show up to practice, but we would wait until everyone was ahead of us, and then turn the opposite direction and sprint to Starbucks. We literally did this almost every single day. And then we would call cute boys from other schools to come meet us over there. We would literally get coffee with them, go shopping, and then once we saw the team getting close again, we would just run back to school and pretend like we did the workout. Until one day, I was called down to the principals. They said it had to do with my cross-country attendance. Follow, share, and I'll tell you what happened next.
Hey besties, are you ready for this cruise ship tea? So I'm on vacation, heading to the Bahamas, enjoying the fresh air, the drinks, the sun. I was up on the deck alone when up walks this woman. I can tell she's a little lit by how she's walking, but you know, so am I. She lays down on the pool chair next to me and I can tell she's a little bit upset. I lift up my sunshades and I'm like, "Are you good?" She looks over at me and I can tell she's been crying. I was concerned, so again I ask, "Are you okay?" This is the point where I should have minded my business. But anyway, she says no. She goes on to tell me that her and her man came on this cruise together, but he was over there sitting with a group of hoes flirting. She waves her hand to the other side of the deck where I see a gentleman in the hot tub surrounded by 5 beautiful women. My jaw drops and I'm immediately disgusted. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sis. You don't deserve that. That's really messed up." Again, I was a little drunk, so now I'm mad at this man and I don't even know him. Of course, I'm thinking to myself, why would your man even go over there and entertain them? But anyway, I start telling her it'll be okay and to enjoy her trip without him, and she starts laughing to herself. I'm curious, so I ask her what's funny. She tells me that his credit card was linked to their ship card. If you've been on a cruise before, you know your ship card is basically your card to use everywhere on a ship to purchase stuff. Y'all already know I'm here for the tea, so I was like, "Oh, so what did you do?" She looks at me and says she just bought 2 purses and a watch, but she's not done yet. So now I'm hyping her up like, "Okay, sis, I see you. That's how you do it. Run his bank account up." I'm laughing with her and we're having a good old little chat about the other stuff she's about to buy on his account when suddenly we hear some cheering from the other side of the deck where her man is. We look over and one of the girls in the hot tubs is twerking to this song that was playing while the other girls in the tub were like hyping her up and homegirl's man was slapping her butt. Y'all, the way my jaw dropped when I saw this, after watching for a moment, I look over at homegirl to see her reaction, but she was already halfway across the deck heading in that direction. See, I wish I was the type to pull out my phone and record, but I was too busy eating my popcorn seeing it in real life to even think about it. She jets over to where they are, and I'm thinking she's about to go snatch her man up out that hot tub, but she walks straight up to the girl that was dancing. Y'all, I knew it was about to go down, so I got up out my chair and moved a little bit closer so I can hear what was going on. Homegirl's going back and forth with the dancing girl, calling her all types of names, and the other 4 girls in the pool suddenly start standing up like they're about to get out. The other 4 girls start arguing back with her, but homegirl wasn't trying to hear it. Next thing I know, all 5 of the girls jump out of the hot tub, and her man was still in the hot tub just watching, enjoying the show. Y'all not gonna want to miss part 2.
Part 2 about how I didn't know that I was dating my best friend's brother. So like I said, we always hung out at my house because she never wanted to hang out at hers. But this weekend her whole family was supposed to be gone, so she wanted to throw a party. And she was like, OMG, you should definitely invite that guy that you like. Now listen, I know you guys think it's weird that she probably didn't even know that I had a boyfriend. Whenever I had talked to people that were best friends with her before, and yes, multiple best friends. This girl went through best friends like she goes through underwear. They had all said to not let her know who you like or who you're dating, because she would either try to get with them or she would get with them. And if she couldn't get with them, she would just send them nudes out of nowhere. So fast forward, I get to the party. She comes up to me. She's like, I'm so fucking annoyed. My brother's here. And then she was like, oh, did you bring the guy that you like? And I was like, no. And then I walk into the living room and I see my boyfriend. So I go over and I give him a hug and a kiss, and Rima starts screaming at me. After that, she told her brother that I bullied her so that way he would break up with me. And he did. Part 2 to how I caught my aunt and my boyfriend hooking up at a family function. So like I said, they are laying on my bed making out. Doors wide open. They don't even bother to shut the door. And both of their shirts are off. And I think I should just put in here, my aunt is like 28. She's on my stepdad's side. She's really young. So they look up and my aunt's just like drunk as fuck looking at me. And she's like, do you want to join? Like, bitch, what the fuck? So I'm just like shook and I start screaming. Everybody rushes up the stairs and my mom pushes me out of the way and sees my boyfriend and my aunt laying on my bed with their shirts off. So my mom starts screaming at everybody. So my mom calls the cops, says that an adult is touching an underage boy, and she calls his mom, tells her what happened. So my boyfriend and I broke up. So that spread around the whole school, and word got out that they actually started seeing each other.
One time I accidentally went to a barber shop instead of a hair salon for a balayage and a haircut, and I think I should have figured it out when I made the appointment, because he was like, a bali what? And I had to spell it for him. And then he was like, what color is your hair? And I was like, blonde. And he's like, what color you want it to be? I'm like, blonde. Or he's like, okay, cool. And then when I went, he showed up 10 minutes late carrying in a Sally beauty supply bag. And I was like, oh no. And I was too passive to leave, so I just stayed and sat in my chair. I was the only woman in there. And he kept asking me how I found this place and thanking me. And I was like, Google, but apparently I'm not good at Googling. And then at one point, he puts his hand on my head like this and like palms it. And he's like, I've never worked on such a small head before. You have such a small head. And I was just like, okay. And then it took 5 hours and he kept like reading his phone. And I think he was looking at instructions. But Charles did a great job.
My boyfriend's pee-pee smells bad, he has terrible body odor. Am I the asshole for wanting to break up with him? At this point, I couldn't even bring myself to kiss him, let alone hug him or even do anything else to his body. That meant zero sexy time. So I decided to tell him the truth that I couldn't stand his body odor. I even told him that his pee-pee smelled really, really bad, and that for that reason, I wasn't touching him or even kissing him anymore. Then he told me that I was being an inconsiderate girlfriend because the other girls of the other players on his team didn't care if their boyfriends were stinky. Then this man actually asked me to do the dirty with him. And as soon as we started kissing and trying to go at it, I started gagging at the stink of him. Then he told me that I didn't take his career seriously and he kicked me out of his apartment. Then I actually did feel like I was being the terrible girlfriend. At the same time, how could I be with him when he literally stinks so bad? 2 hours later, he showed up to my apartment, showered, and I couldn't resist myself, and we went at it. 2 days later, he stinks again. He's refusing to take a shower, and I don't know what to do now. 2 nights ago, he wanted to do the dirty, and he started kissing me, but I gagged again. Basically, I had to force myself to do it. He won't stop touching me. What should I do?
This is why karma has no deadline. I'm a middle school dropout and I became a depressed shut-in from the age of 14 to 20. When I was 20 years old, I got a dog who completely helped me turn my life around. I named him Sherlock, and because of him, I started going outside more to take him on walks. Then I got my GED and started going to college with the intent of giving him a better life. I was 24 and living at home with my brother and my father. Around this time, my brother got a girlfriend. A week into their relationship, Sherlock bit her ankle. It didn't break skin or do serious damage, but everything went downhill because of this. My brother and his girlfriend plotted to kill my dog and throw his body into the river. However, my brother couldn't bring himself to do it and told me everything, followed by breaking hooking up with his girlfriend. A week later, she was kicked out from her residence and my brother ran to her rescue. After they got back together, she would call me using his phone to threaten and scare me into thinking that she would murder Sherlock. I put Sherlock in a training class to sort out his biting issues and he made major improvements. I was stressed and always kept him locked in my room while I was at work for fear of my brother getting to him. I told my brother that I was actively looking for an apartment and would be moving out soon. However, one day when I came home from work, Sherlock was gone and so was my brother.
Extremely toxic best friend story time. So when I was in 8th grade, there was this boy. And this boy would go around telling almost every girl that he liked her. And I was one of those girls. And he would do stuff with all of us. And there were like 11 of us. So we all hated each other. Especially this one girl, and we're gonna call her Abby. And every time we saw each other, we would be super mean to each other. Well, a year passed, we stopped talking to this kid. And I bumped into her at homecoming and basically apologized. So after that, we became best friends. And everything was good until every time I told her about a guy, she would start talking to them. Like this one boy that I was Snapchatting and talking to, she accidentally sent nudes to him and said, "Oh, sorry, I meant to send them to my boyfriend." So then she called one of my other best friends and said, "No, it actually wasn't an accident." And of course he told me because he was my best friend. So I was like, whatever, and stopped talking to the boy. And she did it again, like for part 2.